Everybody that gets involved in crypto loses their first wallet. That's my theory. It happened to me too. I lost $52,000 the first time I dabbled. I got ripped off. I've never been ripped off again. It was a good, important lesson.
I'm in the process of having to sell my house and reorganize my life. I've got maybe 2 or 3 months worth of usable cash left, and that's it. What I didn't know at the time is this trading platform I was working on was a simulation. It wasn't connected to anything.
Every year, millions of people fall victim to cryptocurrency scams. In 2022 alone, over $3 billion was stolen from unsuspecting investors through sophisticated schemes. Scammers use fake websites, social media influencers, and even elaborate fake projects to exploit the hype and promise of digital currencies. What's terrifying is that many of these scams are so convincing that even experienced investors can be tricked. That's exactly what happened to Daniel, who thought he was making the investment of a lifetime. Instead, he lost $50,000, his life savings, in a matter of weeks. Imagine building your savings for years. Every overtime shift, every skipped vacation, every penny you carefully tucked away, only to watch it disappear in an instant. One moment, you're celebrating what you think is your biggest financial win, and the next, you're sitting in stunned silence, realizing you've been deceived. This is the story of Daniel, a 34-year-old tech enthusiast who became the victim of a devastating crypto scam. This story is personal, raw, and full of hard-earned lessons. I got caught in one of the most sophisticated crypto scams I've ever encountered. If you think it can't happen to you, think again. Because I thought the same thing, Daniel said. Daniel's introduction to cryptocurrency was almost accidental. It started in late 2020, during the lockdowns. Stuck at home, he began noticing the buzz around Bitcoin and Ethereum. His social media feeds were filled with friends sharing their crypto wins, and even his coworkers couldn't stop talking about it. It felt like the entire world was cashing in except for me, he said later. Daniel was drawn to the promise of financial freedom and the exciting prospect of being part of the next big thing. I'd heard stories of regular people turning small investments into life-changing wealth, and I thought, why not me? I'm pretty good at research, right? I'm not the type to fall for scams. Or so I thought. Curious but cautious, Daniel started with a small investment of $1,000 in Bitcoin. Within a month, that $1,000 had grown to $1,300. It wasn't life-changing, but it was enough to get him hooked. He started spending evenings reading articles, watching YouTube videos, and joining crypto forums. He told himself he was being responsible, learning as much as he could before diving deeper. But he couldn't deny the growing excitement he felt every time his portfolio ticked up. Daniel began exploring newer projects, the altcoins and smaller tokens that were gaining traction. One evening, while scrolling through a crypto group on Reddit, Daniel came across a post titled, "Next Big Thing, Get In Early." It was about a new token called Quantum One, which promised to revolutionize decentralized finance. The post was by a user named DeFi Guru, who was well known in the community. They had a history of making accurate predictions, and their posts were always detailed and professional. The pitch was irresistible. According to DeFi Guru, Quantum One was still in its pre-sale phase, available only through their exclusive platform. The post included testimonials from early investors who claimed to have already seen significant returns. There were even links to Zoom webinars where the team behind Quantum One explained their vision. Daniel watched one of these webinars, which featured a polished presentation and a Q&A session with supposed team members. It felt real, professional, and above all, promising. After a week of research, or what Daniel thought was research, he decided to invest $5,000. The platform's website was sleek and well-designed, with an FAQ section, white papers, and even a team page showcasing photos and LinkedIn profiles of the developers. It felt legitimate. Daniel transferred the funds and received confirmation that his purchase of Quantum One tokens had been completed. Over the next few days, the value of his investment seemed to grow. The platform's dashboard showed that his $5,000 had turned into $8,500 in just 2 weeks. Excited, Daniel shared his success with a few close friends who congratulated him on his smart move. Everything seemed perfect, almost too perfect. By this point, Daniel was all in. He began attending every webinar and following every update from DeFi Guru. The buzz around Quantum One was growing, and the platform announced that the token was about to be listed on a major exchange. According to DeFi Guru, this listing would trigger a 10x surge in value, but only for those who got in early. Convinced this was his chance to achieve financial freedom, Daniel liquidated a portion of his retirement savings and transferred another $45,000 to the platform. It was everything he had worked for over the past decade. I told myself I was being smart, Daniel later recalled. This was an investment in my future. His account now showed a balance of over $70,000, and he couldn't stop smiling. But then, things started to feel off. The platform announced a temporary freeze on withdrawals due to technical upgrades. DeFi Guru assured investors that this was a standard procedure and nothing to worry about. At the same time, the Telegram group began to change. Where there had once been enthusiasm and encouragement, there were now panicked messages from investors asking why they couldn't access their funds. Daniel started to worry. He tried reaching out to customer support, but the responses were vague and unhelpful. Still, he clung to the hope that the listing was around the corner. He told himself that the delays were just growing pains for a new and ambitious project, and then it all fell apart. One morning, Daniel logged in to check his account, and the website was gone. The Telegram group had been deleted, and DeFi Guru's account was nowhere to be found. Panic set in as Daniel refreshed the page over and over, hoping it was just a glitch. But deep down, he knew the truth. His $50,000 was gone. In a matter of weeks, the people behind Quantum One had vanished without a trace, leaving hundreds of investors like Daniel with empty pockets. He contacted his bank, filed a police report, and even reached out to cybersecurity experts, but the scammers had covered their tracks too well. Daniel was devastated. He couldn't sleep, eat, or think straight. He replayed every decision he'd made, wondering how he had missed the warning signs. I felt stupid, he admitted, but more than that, I felt betrayed. The hardest part was telling his family. His wife had always been skeptical about crypto, and now he had to explain how he had lost nearly everything they had saved. The shame was overwhelming. For weeks, Daniel withdrew from his friends and family, too embarrassed to face their questions or sympathy. He even considered leaving the crypto space altogether, feeling like he could never trust it again. But slowly, Daniel began to rebuild. He started by educating himself on the tactics scammers use. He learned how they manipulate emotions, create fake legitimacy, and exploit the fear of missing out. It wasn't just me, Daniel realized. These people are professionals. He began sharing his story online, hoping to warn others about the dangers of investing in unverified projects. Here are the lessons Daniel took away from his experience. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Verify everything. Don't rely on what a website or influencer says. Do your own research. Be skeptical of exclusivity. Legitimate projects don't require you to use obscure platforms. Don't let greed blind you. The promise of quick riches is how scammers reel you in. Trust your gut. If something feels off, listen to that instinct. Despite everything, Daniel didn't give up on cryptocurrency. He realized that while the technology was legitimate, it was the people exploiting it who were the problem. Today, Daniel invests only in established coins through regulated platforms. He also advocates for better education and regulation in the crypto space, using his story to protect others from falling into the same traps. Daniel's story is a stark reminder of how easy it is to be fooled. Even smart, cautious people can fall victim to scams when greed and FOMO take over. But it's also a story of resilience and redemption. Daniel turned his loss into a mission to educate and empower others, proving that there's always a way to recover. If you've been a victim of a crypto scam, know this: you're not alone. And if you haven't, learn from stories like Daniel's and protect yourself. The crypto world can be exciting, but it's also full of risks. Share this video to help spread awareness, and let's work together to make the crypto space safer for everyone. If this story resonated with you, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you've been through something similar, let us know in the comments. Your experience could save someone else.